welcome to another episode of Talking to Myself. I'm your host, Jake Letizia, and this is the podcast where I look into a camera and I talk to myself. How's it going? How you doing? How's life? Hope you're doing all right. Hope you're doing pretty good. Hope your life is full of joy and happiness, dude. I wish you guys could hear the theme song play live in this room rather than, I could record it for you so you can hear it, but you don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that. You don't want to hear that and recognize how little money I have. Do you know what I'm saying? Because the speakers on my laptop, I think I've said it before, but I'll say it again. The speakers on my laptop are so fucking blown out that you immediately go, oh, this guy's got no money. Otherwise he would fix this. That's the way to find out how much money somebody has. If something important in their life is severely broken and they don't ever fix it, you're like, oh, you don't have any money, huh? And I don't, because I would fix it in a heartbeat. I would get a fucking new laptop. This laptop's like 7 years old. Hey, man, if I had the cashola, first thing I would buy, new laptop. Have the speakers not make my ears bleed. Have the speakers so they don't sound like the fucking Jurassic Park meme. You know what I'm talking about? The recorder. It sounds like the recorder Jurassic Park meme. It sounds like that. There might as well be unfinished fucking animated dinosaurs walking around like stiff fucking polygons as you play that in the room. It's bad, dude. Yeah, hope you're doing good. Hope everything's fine. Hope your life is wonderful. Hope you're making money, but be careful though, dude. Be careful with this Wall Street shit, dude. I hope a good amount of people have made a ton of money off of this whole Wall Street bet thing. If you don't know what's going on, I'm going to try and tell you, but I barely know either. Like, I'm no authority on the stock market. My father knows a lot about the stock market. I don't. I guess that just makes sense. I guess that's how it is, huh? Boomers know a lot about the stock market, and young people do and they don't, I guess. I guess that's the stereotype in the world. I guess that's part of the reason why when all these young bucks entered the mix just now, why all of boomer fucking the stock market was like, nah, dude, you guys can't, you guys are just Reddit trash, dude. You can't participate in this. Nah, dude, fucking weird gamer boys, dude. You guys are the fucking trash of the earth. You can't come in here fuck our shit up. Yes, they can, dude. Now, I'm going to try and explain it as much as I know, because and this could be totally wrong. And if this is totally wrong, I apologize. This podcast is not large enough for anyone to comment and be like, hey, fuckface, you got it wrong. But if I did get it wrong, please let me know. If there is the one person listening who's like, hey, man, this is dumb, please explain it to me better. But I think what happened was there were classic stock boys trying to short GameStop and make it go way down, right? So they could buy it. They could buy it low and have it go back up, right? That's what they're supposed to do. Right? I think that's what it was. That's what the hedge fund's plan was. That's what the shady business of their shit was. Okay? They were shorting GameStop to make it go real low so they could buy low and it would shoot back up high. And I think the Reddit boys figured that out. The young, strong gamers of the world, which, I'm technically a part of the gamers of the world, dude. I game. But I didn't participate in this stock buying thing, but I do think it's great, and I'm in support of the Reddit boys on this one. They all got on Wall Street bets and were like, yo, bro, let's fucking start buying GameStop and drive the price up. Let's fucking make GameStop great again. Let's make GameStop the most expensive thing imaginable. Let's make the worst fucking company of all time. Let's make the company that gamers don't like, us gamers, let's make the company that gamers don't like super valuable. Dude, there's nothing funnier than that. That's the funniest part of the whole thing, is that GameStop, whether you're for the Reddit boys or for the Wall Street boys, I don't know why you'd be for the Wall Street boys. Fuck those guys. Oh, we're going to lose our jobs. What do you think everybody else is fucking doing? Oh, we're going to go from having a ton of money to fucking not a lot of money. Yeah, what do you think's happening to the rest of the world during COVID? You fuck. Anyway, so crazy to have people are legitimately like, yeah, I mean, this is funny and all, but people are actually going to lose their livelihoods. Yeah, who, dude? Already fucking rich people? Like, maybe if we were during a time when everyone else wasn't poor as shit, there'd be some sympathy, but how am I supposed to feel about hedge fund dudes losing their fucking job? How am I going to give a fuck when they have more savings than I can even conceive in my fucking brain? Or maybe they don't. I don't know. But they're swimming in enough wealth that I can't really give a fuck if the Reddit boys fuck them out of their career. I can't. How? How am I going to feel sympathetic towards that? Anyway, the Reddit boys swooped in. Oh, GameStop. That's the thing you got to take out of it the most, is that it's just hilarious that GameStop, the company that nobody likes, that fucking should not exist. Dude, I haven't bought a game at GameStop since fucking 1992. And is that true? No, it's an exaggeration. But I haven't bought a game at GameStop since the PlayStation 4 came out. Because once they were like, hey, you can buy everything online day and date, or even earlier if you pre-order it. Your game comes out earlier on the console if you pre-order it. I was like, hey, man, I'm out. Hey, man, I'm never going to talk to the guy in the store again who just makes shit up. That's the experience at GameStop. You go in and you go, hey, man, I hear that you have to, I hear that fucking Cyberpunk got pushed back a year. And they're like, nah, dude, it's supposed to come out in December still. Well, no, I heard it got pushed to like December 2020. Nah, dude, it's going to come out 2019, bro. It's still coming out, bro. Whatever. That's just an example. Could be a bad example. But it's always, I'll give you a real example. I went into a GameStop and I was like, oh, yeah, I stopped buying disc games to the guy because you have to install the whole game anyway. So I don't really want to do that. And the guy was like, no, you don't. And I was like, yeah, you do. Because you do. It's faster. Installing a game off a disc is much faster than installing it over the internet. That's true. But if you still have to install the game no matter what, you still got to have the free space to install the fucking disc. So I said that to this guy at GameStop, the guy who works at the game store, right? And also, as part of this, me being bitter because when I was a young boy at 15 years old or 16 years old or whatever the fuck it was, did I try to get a fucking job at GameStop and they would not let me have it? Yes, that's true. Is that part of my bitterness towards GameStop? Perhaps, dude. I can't call it. Anyway, I went in and I was like, hey, I was asking about like when some games came out or something because I bought a controller. And then he's like, do you want to pre-order anything? And I was like, you know what? I'll commiserate with this fellow gamer. Why not, bro? And I said, oh, dude, I don't really buy disc anymore because you got to install the game anyway. So I figure I might as well just get digital. And he was like, no, you don't. I was like, yeah, you do. And he goes, no, you don't have to do that. And I go, every game I've bought so far, I bought a couple disc games. Every game I have, you got to install it, whether it's disc or not. And he's like, nah, a lot of games you don't have to do that. I go, what games do you not have to do that? And he's like, Battlefield. Do you have Battlefield? And I was like, no. And he's like, oh, well, that's one that. Oh, really? How convenient. The one game I don't fucking have is the one that you don't have to install? You're full of shit, dude. Anyway, that is annoying, dude. That is annoying. I shouldn't know more than the guy who's there. And if I do know more than the guy who's there, then hire me at 16, GameStop. What the fuck? I put on my resume fucking the code names for the new consoles. It was before Xbox One and PS4 came out. No, it's probably before PS3 and 360 came out. How the fuck? No, what age was I? Was that? No, because then I'd be really young. Or maybe I was like 15 or 14 applying. That's the thing too, man. I applied to GameStop. I applied to jobs around where I lived back in the day. And because my dad was like, you need to get a job. You need to fucking find a job during the summer. And now when I look back, I'm like, I didn't get any. All the jobs I applied to did not get. And now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, well, why would they hire me? I was like 15 or 16. Why would you hire a fucking 15-year-old? I wouldn't hire a 15-year-old. I'd be like, listen, kid, go have fun. Go live your life. What do you... Are you on the street? No, your parents are taking care of you for now? Yeah, all right, go fucking tell them you couldn't get a job and just fucking smoke weed and hang out with your friends for the summer, okay? Right? If I was a proprietor of a business, I would be like, I don't want any kids this age here because I don't want them. They need to fucking live their life while they still can. Do you know what I'm saying? I'd be doing them a favor by being like, yeah, dude, just don't have a spot for you, dude. And I understand your dad will be disappointed in you and be like, why the fuck can't my son find a job? But all of the businesses in town got together and were like, hey man, if we reject all these 16-year-olds, their fathers will be upset, but they'll have no choice but to let their kid live their fucking life in the summer, dude. Hell yeah, dude. I would start a fucking small business coup to let all the kids hang out and have their summer free rather than fucking slave away making pizzas or selling controllers, dude. What the fuck? Anyway. Yeah, so Wall Street bets. I didn't explain what happened at all. So then what happened was hedge fund trying to short the stock. A bunch of people were like, let's buy up these fucking stocks. And then I think they did it with other stocks, AMC, Nokia. Basically Reddit bought, I feel like the boys online, very, very funnily, if that's a word I can use, if that's even a word, in a very funny manner, they bought up all the stocks that are essentially worthless. Like Nokia, GameStop, AMC. It's a good bit, dude. It's a good bit to understand that you have the manpower on the internet to coordinate and buy a bunch of stocks that no one gives a fuck about and make them valuable. Because then what happens is you show what the stock market really is, dude. It's the ultimate fucking satire on American capitalism, is you fucking buy up all the stocks with the boys that are garbage and make them so fucking valuable that you make it undeniable to the world that, oh yeah, the stock market is just based on people's feelings. That's what it is. I think a comedian said this. I don't know who. I wish I knew so I could fucking credit the person. But they said something like, or maybe it was a meme or something. It was something about like the stock market is just a graph of rich people's feelings. And that's what it really is, dude. That's what it really is. And the fucking Reddit boys decided, well, let's make it a graph of our fucking feelings. Let's change it from a graph of rich people's feelings to a graph of gamer feelings. And the gamers think it's hilarious that in a pandemic, AMC is fucking $500 a share or whatever the fuck it was. Which is funny. Nokia, phones that nobody fucking wants. Let's make that $300 a share, bro. GameStop. In a world where why the fuck would you ever buy a disc copy of a game? I'm going digital all the way. $500, let's make it a share, dude. That's so funny, dude. That's so awesome. But yeah, it just makes it painfully obvious that like, oh yeah, all of it's speculation, all of it's bullshit. All of it is just like, oh, we're just deciding what's valuable and what's not valuable at all times. That's what it is. It's all hypothetical bullshit. And again, do I know what I'm talking about? Absolutely not. I was talking about stocks and money to an accountant friend of mine one time, and then in the middle of me like just pontificating all this garbage, he was like, "That doesn't make any sense." And then he started talking about like what's actually valuable and why it's valuable. And then I looked at him and said, "Hey man, why didn't you stop me a while ago?" You know, my job is to just say shit, you know, and see what sticks, see what makes people laugh. I'm just trying to entertain at the end of the day. So I'm a person who needs to be cut off and told like, nah, man, this is what it really is, because I don't know what it really is most of the time. I don't know. I just explained Wall Street bets in a way that could be completely inaccurate. And I feel fine about that, but at the same time, you got to know that I don't know what I'm talking about. My friend laughed. I think I said this on the podcast before, but my friend laughed because he was like, "Oh, I didn't. I thought you were like, no, dude." He thought I was like making a really impassioned argument. No, man, I'm always talking out of my asshole. Not always. There are things that I actually fucking know about, but like when it comes to money and stocks and economy, I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. But it's funny because I guess in most conversations, a person who's very, very passionately saying something, you're like, oh, that person like is really arguing with me. And for me, it's usually not the case. If I'm saying something impassioned, immediately if you have the better information, I'll go, oh, never mind what I was saying. I'm dumb. But it's got to be correct information. If it sounds wrong, I'm going to be like, nah, I'm doubling down on what I just said. Anyway, Wall Street bets, I think it's pretty tight. I think it's pretty cool. I think it's a good time. Also, isn't it ironic? Dude, isn't it ironic? Robinhood halted trading, which just, come on, dude. The whole world said, nah, man. The whole world, Ocasio-Cortez, fucking Dave Portnoy, Ted Cruz, all the boys who don't like each other were like, nah, dude. Robinhood, you're halting trading? Don't think so, bro. Don't think so, fuck face. Aren't you supposed to fucking steal from the rich and give to the poor? Not halt the trading of the fucking middle class, you cunt? Their fucking name should be revoked, Robinhood, for doing that. Oh, all the fucking very rich people are having a bad time. Let's halt trading for the boys. Hey, dude, that's not Robinhood at all. That's the opposite of fucking Robinhood. That's fucking cunthood, bro. Okay, that's not Robin Hood. That's cunt hat, dude. That's fucking cunty fedora, bro. Okay, Robin Hood is now called Fuckface Fedora. That's what their company's called. Robin Hood. No. You guys fucking halt the middle class and try and save the poor. You're fuckface fedora, dude. You know why? Because anyone with a fedora on is a fucking asshole. And that's what you are, Robin Hood. Fuck you, dude. So stupid. That should be just immediately like your company's shut down. Oh, dude, that's crazy because your company's shut down now. Right? If we're supposed to have a free market and you violate that free market, oh, your company? It's gone, dude. What the fuck? Now, again, I don't know what I'm talking about, so that could be like there's probably a million reasons why that shouldn't happen, but I'm just talking out of my ass. So enjoy it. Resident Evil lady, huh? Let's move on. Let's move away from Wall Street bets. I already talked about it for way too fucking long. Resident Evil lady. What's up with that, huh? If you have a PS5, which thankfully I do, there was a very short demo for Resident Evil that came out, for Resident Evil 8, which is really called Village. It's just called Village, and VII is the 8. They're really committing to this fucking weird title, to this weird. Let's hide the thing. Did they do that with Biohazard too? They did, right? Wasn't the 7 an S or something? So it was technically called Biohazard, but it was but to the layman, to everyone who talked about the game, it's like, oh, Resident Evil 7. Like, no one's gonna call this game Village. Already, no one's calling it Village. They called the demo Maiden. Hey, man. Why are you making it so confusing? I get it. It's fun. It's this weird thing. You're trying to make it mysterious and interesting. But at the same time, I couldn't find the demo for a hot minute. You know? My friend told me Resident Evil 8 demo came out. I was like, dude, let me find this. Couldn't find it. Was kind of irritated. Next thing I know, my friend goes, oh, it's called Maiden. And then I look. Well, I didn't even look. I just, in my head, went, wait a second. You mean the thing that was on the front page that I passed over 9 times because I was looking for Resident Evil 8 instead of fucking an M? Anyway, it's fine. I get it. You're making it mysterious. It's chill. But I downloaded it. Very good. Very atmospheric. Fucking, it's the same vibe of 7, which I think is, I know it's a controversial take, but I think it's the best Resident Evil of all time. At least it's my favorite. And I understand. People say 4 is the best. People love 2, especially 2 the remake. I've played 2 the remake. I've played part of 4. Not my thing. I mean, I think they're cool. I think they're chill games, but I'm more a Resident Evil 7 guy, dude. And I'm sure I'm gonna love 8. But to each their own. Anyway, playing this thing. Very good, very atmospheric, very, very creepy, right? It's building up. You're in this weird dungeon and you walk out, you find this key and you fucking, it's the classic Resident Evil shit. It's very Resident Evil, same exact thing as 7, as all the games. You have an inventory, shit goes into the inventory. You get a fucking bolt cutter. It's in your inventory. You click the thing. You click the bolt cutter. You break the chain. Shit like that. Anyway, you're in a dungeon. You get out of the dungeon. You end up in this Victorian mansion. And you're walking around. It's kind of creepy. You go to this courtyard door that seems like frozen over. It's real snowy outside, but the door's locked. So then you fucking go back into the main area of this weird Victorian mansion you're in. You're in like the foyer, right? That's what it's called, right? I don't fucking know. And then when you go into the foyer, you hear a lady, and then you see like this gray figure. Like you see just this gray weird fucking silhouette of a thing moving up the steps, and you can barely see it. And you're like, damn, that's creepy, dude. Because I have to go that way. So you go up the steps. You put this fucking eye socket thing you found into an eyeball hole on the wall. It opens the door. Right? You get the fucking, I think then you get a key to something. Is that what happens? Yeah. Then you get a key to the door. You go downstairs. You fucking, you run down, whatever. You get the key. I'm fucking all over the place. This is a fucking bad telling of the demo. You get the key. After the eye socket goes into the eye hole, you open the door. You're like, hey, dude, there's this note that I don't give a fuck about. Then you go into the cupboard. You're like, oh, damn, dude, this is a key. You start going back to the fucking courtyard door. And as you do, this fucking weird ghost lady comes out of nowhere. Who honestly was... It's cool. Okay, so the most terrifying part of the demo is you're walking down the steps and all of a sudden you hear, I see you, and everything goes dead silent. And you're like, oh, dude, this is actually frightening. I see you. I don't hear anything. Now I'm just waiting to be attacked or to see something. So then you start walking and all of a sudden this woman appears. She's like a plague woman because she looks like she manifests out of wasps or something. Like there's some sort of bugs or bats or something that mingle together to create her human form or her ghost form, whatever the fuck. Anyway, she's levitating in front of you. She looks like she's surrounded by fucking plague shit, by flies and buzzards. And then you don't know what to do because she's between you and the door. So you start moving, and then she goes up on you, she bites your fucking neck, and then looks right at you, and you're like, well, I survived that, and also, this girl's cute, huh? I survived, and now the scary thing that I didn't want to come near me, I'm like, you want to bite me again? You're kind of cute, dude. Anyway, so then you go and you're like, well, I guess I got to go to the courtyard. I mean, I kind of want to fuck this ghost lady, but let me go to the courtyard. So then you go to the courtyard, door busts open as you fucking try and unlock it, and this giant fucking vampire lady, this thick, hot vampire lady in all white, picks you up and fucking and then goes like this with her hand, and claws come out of her fucking, like she fucking X-Men 2's it, where her fingers become giant fucking claws, and she stabs you. And at that moment, you're like, damn, dude, that was who's this lady? At that moment, you're like, I'm kind of hard, dude. This is fucking, I understand that I'm supposed to be terrified, but I'm wet, dude. My pants are soaked through, dude. What the fuck? What's going on here? And also your brain goes, yo, that girl lifted me up. But then you play the demo again and you go, oh no, she didn't lift me up. I just imagined that happening because I was very aroused and I was like, damn, dude, she's picking me up. This is hot. Really, she just grabs you and stabs you with her hand. But in your brain, you go, she's picking me up, dude. Are we going to fuck or what, dude? The timer just went off. That's the end of the first half. I'll see you guys in the second half where I talk more about how this vampire lady's hot as hell. What's up? I'm back. How's it going? Yes, so this lady, very hot. And I think the reason, and it kind of blew up on the internet, is this fucking beautiful. Here's what happened. I played this demo, and I was expecting to be terrified, and in the beginning I was, but in the moment I see the villains are these fucking vampire ladies, and this main, thick, tall, hot vampire lady, as soon as I saw them and they grabbed me, I was like, I'm not scared. I'm not scared. I'm ready to coom, dude. I'm a coomer now. I went from a fucking terrified boomer to a fucking aroused coomer in like 3 seconds. It was intense. And here's the thing. They always say like, oh yeah, the problem with horror movies is the moment you see the monster, it's not scary anymore. That's usually true, but I've never heard and I've never experienced, yeah, dude, the problem with a horror game is once you see the monster, you want to fuck it. I think this might be the first time we've all unanimously experienced that. I don't know. I'd have to ask some women I know, but I don't think any of them saw Freddy Krueger and was like, well, now that I see him, I kind of want to fuck him. Now that I see him, I hope he jumps in my dreams. I don't think that happened. I think this is the first time we're like, you know, I'm kind of scared of vampires, but now that she's standing in front of me, I hope she picks me up and fucks the shit out of me. I think this may be the first time we've experienced this. And the weird and uncomfortable thing is, when I played the demo, I played the demo right when it came out. So there was none of this online yet. There was none of this being expressed. I very alone and isolated, because also none of my friends have the PS5 yet, or very few of them do. So I couldn't even commiserate with them. It was just me playing this demo going, whoa, dude, this is something else. And I didn't know how to feel about it. And then the first thing I see online is somebody, is a meme showing an image of the plague lady. And it was like, yo, Capcom, am I supposed to be scared or horny? And I immediately felt very hurt, dude. I did. That was the most hurt I've ever felt. That's the most hurt I've ever been from a meme. 100%, dude. I've never read a meme and felt more like, damn, you know exactly how I felt. And I never thought that this would be the context in which a meme would hit me that hard. I never thought it would be for a vampire lady that I would love to jump my bones. Never thought that. Now, why is this happening? A lot of people are wondering, like, why this game, why this moment? Like, there have been hot ladies in other games. There have been hot ladies in first person in other games. And I think it's a convergence of many fucking things. Number one, COVID. We're all horned the fuck up, right? We're all extra horny because of COVID. That is a fact. That is a real thing. Many of us who would have had sex way more often than we are a little fucking on edge, dude. We're a little bit like, hey, man. Hey, man. Can something happen? You know what I'm saying? There's single, horned up men and women right now in a degree that's frightening and will be truly fucked up once we all can see each other live in person. Once people say, hey, you don't need a mask indoors, people are going to fuck each other in Walmart. It's going to happen, dude. You ever see how long a Whole Foods line is? You think people are going to start finger banging in the Whole Foods line? You're out of your mind, dude. There's going to be jerking and fingering and fucking and sucking in every supermarket in America when there's no more masks. Guaranteed, dude. There's going to be a lot of public indecency. Anyway, I've talked about that on the podcast already, so I won't talk about that too much, although it's going to happen. But I think that's part of it, is we're all very horny because of COVID. But also, I think it's the perfect convergence of COVID horniness and fucking MILF pornography. That's what it is, dude. Dude, the amount of MILF, stepmom MILF, whatever the fuck, the amount of, like, young guy at his dad's house or at his stepmom's house, whoever's fucking house, and there's a hot MILF stepmom there who's like, hey, you're cute. And the kid's like, I'm not sure. And she's like, I'm bigger than you and hot. And I'm not your mom, I'm your stepmom. The amount of porn like that on the internet that you've seen, whether you like it or not, has finally caught up with us. That's what's happened. The amount of times we've seen Kendra lust and been like, oh shit, dude, has finally caught up to us. It's caught up to us in a moment where a fucking giant, thick, stepmom-looking grandma, a giant, thick, stepmom-looking vampire lady is grabbing us and going, hey, dude, I know you're supposed to be terrified, but let's fuck right now. That's what we've come to. That's where it's all led to. Okay? It's all led to this moment where we get grabbed by a fucking vampire lady and we go, oh shit, is Alexis Fox going to play this lady in the porn parody of this game or what? What are we doing? What are we doing here, dude? Really the Resident Evil... this Resident Evil 8 reaction should show us just how prolific and plentiful porn is in everyone's lives at this point. Because I really do think that's what it is. The amount of fucking first person POV porn you've seen, whether you're into it or not, I think just automatically made you go in that moment, oh, hot woman grab me? I guess, am I supposed to jerk off? Like, that's what happened. That's what happened. We're like, wait, are we playing a game or are we watching porn? What's going on here? What's happening here? I'm confused on what medium I'm in. This is too sexy to be a fucking video game at this point. Also, graphics being so this fucking good. It's all catching up to us, dude. Where now we don't know what experience we're supposed to have in what setting. We don't know the context we're in anymore. And it's pretty chill. It's pretty cool. I'm okay with it, man. I'm cool with it. This is a fun time. That's the thing, too, that people don't understand about pornography, dude, is that you see a lot of whatever you see. You know what I'm saying? Even if it's a genre you don't like, you're going to see some of it. You have no choice, dude. The algorithm pushes towards you what it pushes towards you. Yeah, man. It's wild. But that's what it is, man. What are you going to do? Video games, pornography, they're all coming together. It's all coming together in a beautiful way. Wall Street bets, everything's influencing each other, dude. Gamers run the world. That's how it is, man. That's how it is. Yeah. So that's enough about the Resident Evil lady. She's hot. It was an interesting moment. I think I made my case for what I think happened, and I can't wait for the game. That's really the thing that I took out of it the most is that I'm excited for Resident Evil 8. I think it's gonna be great. 7 was fucking incredible. Little short, especially after you beat it the first time. You're like, oh, dude, I could speed run this game in fucking 3 hours. I think the fastest I beat that game was like 4 hours or 5 hours. Hey, man, come on, too short. I understand that I unlocked unlimited ammo, so it's much easier now, but hey, man, come on. Yeah, I'm excited for that game, Resident Evil 8. It's been a long time, right? How many years has it been? I guess they took a little break, or not a break, but I guess they padded the time between the games with those Resident Evil remakes. Which, again, were cool, man. I like too. I'm a 7 boy. What else I got on here, bro? Some of these things I'm not sure. Okay, I'll talk about this. This is a quick thing. My parents, I overheard my mom talking to my dad, and she said that because it's supposed to snow around here, and she's like, "Oh, there's gonna be 4 feet of snow." That's what she said to him. Right, and I'm hearing this from the other room, going 4 feet of snow. What is she talking about? This isn't fucking Buffalo, dude. And she's like, "You're gonna get 4 feet of snow." My dad's like, "Really? Four feet of snow?" My mom's like, "Yeah." She's like, I counted it all up from all the news stations. I combined all the news stations, and we're gonna have 4 feet. And immediately in my head, I was like, combined all the news. Why would you do that? What do you mean? Every news station is doing their own version of it. You don't. It's not every news station isn't doing their own 4 feet or their own foot of snow. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, oh, NBC says there's going to be a foot. This other channel says there's going to be a foot, but that's their foot. And now ABC is also saying there's going to be a foot, but that's also their foot. So that's 3 feet at least. Now let's see what the local news says. They say a foot. Damn. Well, that's also their separate foot. Each news person, each news outlet negotiates their own foot of snow to report on. So as we all know, you got to combine all fucking stations together to find out, holy shit, we're getting 4.5 feet of snow. God damn. So immediately I hear that and I go, that doesn't make any fucking sense. And about an hour later, I hear my mom be like, oh, we're gonna get 6 to 10 inches to my dad, and he was like, "Oh, we are?" And she's like, "Yeah, I misunderstood." Yeah, dude, you misunderstood. I knew that immediately. The funniest part is that my dad wasn't like, 4 feet. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Combine the stations. Like, he's just as lost as her, where he's like, "Oh wow, 4 feet of snow. I better fucking get chains. I better buy chains for the fucking wheels." Dude, their conversations are wild. They're just so fucking, I've said this before, but it's just so like, you've been married for a long time, huh? You've been married for a long time. Another fucking thing they were saying was like, thinking of buying a house. My dad's always thinking of buying a house. Constantly looking at, that's his hobby. Is to fucking house hunt. That's why that show House Hunters is fucking popular. Because there's people like my dad who have enough money so that they can window shop houses. Do you understand what I'm saying? Imagine, dude, come on. Throw me a bone, you know? right? If you got fucking enough money to window shop houses, throw your boy a bone. No, it's fine, dude. You got to make your own way, bro. Anyway, but he has enough money where like he can house hunters his life, where he's like, maybe I'll get this house, maybe I'll get that house, I'm not sure, and never mind. He just fucking bothers this real estate agent for his whole life and her whole life. I guess the commission's good enough where she's like, let me stick around. But yeah, it's just wild. I can't imagine being her. I'd be like, hey man, you fucking pick a house already. God damn it, dude. This is the 7th house you've had me look at with you this month. What are we doing, bro? Okay? I don't get paid for these hours, you fuck. But anyway, he was talking about something, and I just hear it's like quiet, and my mom goes like, "What do you want me to say? How do you want me to respond to that?" And then he was like, "What?" And she goes, "Don't get angry. Just how do you want me to respond to that? To you saying you want to get the house now?" And then he's like, "I want you to ask me why I changed my mind." And she goes, "Why'd you change your mind?" He goes, "Because because I was thinking about it, and actually I kind of want the house." That's what I had to ask about. That's how you changed it. I had to ask you about that because that's not much information, dude. It's just funny. They're funny, dude. They talked about fucking money the other day. All of a sudden, my mom's just like, Harriet Tubman's going to replace Andrew Jackson on the fucking $20 bill. Right? And, it's two boomers, so you never know if it's going to go fucking a weird way. Two boomers are talking about a black person replacing a white person on something. You never know where it's going to go. Even if you know these two boomers as not racist people, you never know where it's going to take a turn. You just don't know with the boomers. It always is potentially dicey. But I was happy to hear my dad was like, "Oh, really? Why?" And my mom was like, "Oh, because Andrew Jackson, he owned slaves, but then also he had sex with a lot of them. So or he had kids with a lot of the slaves. So he probably was having unconsensual sex with those slaves." My mom was a little less, a little less fucking gracious with her words. She was like, "Yeah, I mean, and that's fine." My mom was like, "Well, he had sex with, he had kids with a lot of the slaves, so he's probably raping them." Which I was like, "Whoa, mom, whoa." Which is funny. That word is it's so fucking, that word was said out loud by like so often, and not as like that. It's just like a thing that happens. And now with Me Too and everything, understandably so, it's like when you hear that word, there's a punch to it. There's a fucking you feel it in your gut when someone's like rape. When someone says that word, it hits hard now. Rightfully so. I think that's part of showing that the Me Too movement was successful in what it wanted to accomplish. But anyway, my mom said that, which is funny because, again, boomer energy. That's very boomer energy. She was saying something progressive, being like Andrew Jackson was an asshole, but at the same time, she said it little older, a little bit from an older generation. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Who knows? Anyway, so then my dad goes, "Oh," he goes, "Hey, as long as the money works, I don't care who's on it." Which, again, very boomer response. Very like, "Whatever, dude. As long as I can buy money with it, Which I think is what he said. As long as I can buy money with it? Which doesn't make any sense. I'll put that on me. I don't know if he said that. Maybe that was just my mistake in the moment, but I feel like I heard him say, "As long as you can buy money with it, I'll eat food." Aha! As long as you can buy food with it, I don't care. Good for Harriet. I love her. No, I didn't say that part, but It's just interesting. It's just funny to hear what they talk about and what they. It's funny to hear what a couple that what a couple or a married couple, whatever the fuck, what two people. It's funny to hear what two people who've been together for like 30 years think is important to tell one another. It's just very interesting. Like that, those are the things that they make, that they feel like, hey, I'm going to say this. Because you get to an age where you don't need to talk to each other. You don't. You could be silent forever and it doesn't matter. You've already fucking made the oath. You've already bound yourself to one another. You don't need to keep talking. You don't need to just fill the time. Whatever you say is something that you genuinely were like, oh, I should probably tell this person that. And for my mom, it's snow and Harriet Tubman on fucking new bills. And for my dad, it's whether or not he's going to buy a house. That's it. That's what they deem important in their lives at this point. And honestly, I don't, it's chill, man. It seems like a decent life. Seems pretty chill. I'm not hating on it. I got some other stuff on this list that I guess I could talk about these two things. Well, it's like 7 minutes left. 7 minutes left. Probably only going to do 2 parts today, everybody. I want to say, I don't know, man. Should we go dark? Should we get a little fucking strange? I was thinking about this and dude, you're allowed to be wrong. You're allowed to be wrong. You're allowed to be an idiot. You're allowed to do both those things. There is room for improvement in your life. 100%. I feel like the world we're in right now and the way people behave and the way people act is very like, I'm going to find out the thing you did and I'm going to kill you for it. And I feel like it sets up people to never improve. And not only to never improve, but to never take a risk. You're allowed to take a risk. You're allowed to make a mistake within certain parameters, like what happens is you say something like that and then people take it to the degree of like, well, you shouldn't fucking physically attack somebody. And you're like, yeah, that's not what I'm talking about. It's a pretty fucking, like, like when I say something like you're allowed to take a risk, you know what I'm talking about. You're allowed to say something and be wrong about it. The important thing is to be open to change. That's the real thing that we should be focused on. I feel like so often and so much in the fucking world, people focus on, hey, man, you're wrong. Or what you said is fucked up, so now you're fucked up. Instead of people focusing on like, hey, people are allowed to say the wrong thing, but everyone should be open to hear what someone else has to say so you can understand you might have said something wrong. That's, I don't know. I just feel like that's what it should be. I feel like people should operate in a way where they understand that they could be wrong at any time. That the things that they believe in so distinctly, so concretely, could be bullshit. And all it would take is one person to tell you something that makes sense to you in your head where you're like, oh, fuck, maybe I was wrong about that. And it's a dicey thing because people think like this, I'm 100% right about this. And that does happen sometimes where there's a certain argument about something where you're like, this objectively is what's true. And then somebody else will be like, no, it isn't. And you think that and you might think that the argument I'm making is like, well, anything is debatable. I don't know if that's true. I don't think that's true. I don't think anything's debatable. But I think a lot of things in life, I think a lot of being young is you putting your foot in your fucking mouth. And not only being young, but being in your 20s, being in your 30s. Throughout your entire life, you're going to put your foot right in your fucking mouth. You're going to fucking, your toenails are going to slice your goddamn throat sometimes. And you're allowed to do that. Right? You should have friends that allow you to do that. Because sometimes I find myself, even with friends, thinking like, are these really my friends? Are these really my friends if I'm afraid of making a certain joke? And then they'll be like, oh, you're like, why would you say that? And they'll hold the joke against me? Shouldn't my friends be like, if they have an issue with something I said, shouldn't they tell me why? As a friend, you know? And I don't like that fear. And I guess that's why I wanted to bring it up on here and just try and talk it out. Is like, I hate that feeling of fear. I hate that feeling of, should I say this? Are people going to take it the wrong way? Because I understand that in a public setting, that's the risk you take. In a public setting or with strangers, with people you don't know, there's a risk you're taking. So the fear makes sense there. But there's a fear that's been growing with me, and I think it's happening with other people, where even in a place that's supposed to feel safe, in a place that's supposed to be your friends, you feel like, well, are these people gonna hold this against me? Which shouldn't be the case. You should have friends that are like. And I do. I have friends who I know for a fact, when I say something, they know me as a person, so they know it's a joke. And if they do take issue with the joke, they'll tell me, and it's not like, well, you said that joke now, so now I don't know about you at all. It's like, oh, I do know you. I know you very well. So if you say something I disagree with, I'm just going to disagree with you, and we're going to talk about why we disagree, and I'm going to try and make you see my point. That's what it is, man. That's what a friend is. But I feel like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just saying this because I feel like I've had some selfish friends or some friends who don't give a fuck about you as a person. And I guess I'm trying to, or I have shed some of them. And it's just made me think about other people who might have been in the same situation of like, fuck, man, I don't like this person. But they are a friend of mine, and then it was a struggle to separate that from your brain of like, well, no, you don't like this person because they're not a friend of yours. They're not. They're just a person who happens to be a part of other people that you're around, and they suck. And when you start talking to the other people, they're like, yeah, that person sucks, and everyone agrees this person sucks. So you got to understand like, oh, that's not my friend. Does any of this make fucking sense? Who knows? I got a minute left. What I'm saying is, don't be afraid of making a mistake. You're allowed to. And if you're around people who don't allow you to make mistakes, who think that your mistakes are who you are, those are people you shouldn't be around. You should stay away from. Because a person who doesn't understand that other people can say the wrong thing is a person who is not in touch with their own flaws or their own imperfections. And that's a person who has to work on themselves before you involve them in your fucking life. So, yeah. Actually, I'm going to do a third part real quick. I'll be back in a sec. So yeah, man, if you're around people who are not, if you're around people who are if you're around people who are always judging others and never being like, oh fuck, well, what if I was in that situation? If you're around people who are never putting themselves into other people's shoes, get away from those fucking people, because they'll never sympathize with you. They'll never empathize with you. How could they? They don't try and see themselves in other people, so why would they see themselves in you? Why would they ever do that? You know? I don't know about you, but when shit goes bad for other people who I don't know, I try and think of like, well, what if I was in their position? Even if it's something bad, dude. Even if it's, when a situation is unclear, or maybe it is clear, when somebody is caught for like shit they said in the past that doesn't add up to who they are in the present, I start to think like, oh man, I mean, I've said bad things in the past. We all have. Everybody has. That's the thing. But you'll have people around you who act as though they've never done a bad thing in their life. And then you see them make mistakes. You see them do things that are wrong, and you'll say to them like, "Hey, that's fucking weird." Hey, like you'll be a friend to them. And then you see them be ruthless to others and never a friend to you, and you're just like, that person needs to go, dude. Anyway, enough about that. But yeah. Stay away from people who don't allow others the room to fail or make mistakes. Get away from those fucking people. Yeah. It's okay to break away from those people. You can lose a close friend. Sometimes a close friend needs to go, man. Sometimes a close friend becomes your friend in a way that you never thought would happen, and then before you know it, that person's so close to you, it's hard to get away from them. You can get away. You're allowed to. I guess is something I would want to say. You're allowed to get rid of a close friend that you don't feel good about anymore. That you don't feel is a close... Because that's the thing, too, is that you're friends with somebody, and then they make you feel like they make you feel like you're the bad friend. If that makes sense. Where you're like, hey, I'm not... You're the one who's fucking doesn't have my back, you fuck. Anyway, you're allowed to get rid of Fairweather friends. That's what they really are. They're Fairweather friends. They're friends who are only friends with you as long as the world sees you as good. As long as other people see you as cool. As long as they don't know the true shit of your life, they like you. The Fairweather fucking friends. Get them away from you. Because everybody has made mistakes. Everybody is fucked up. Everybody has some dirt in their soul that they're trying to clean out. And somebody who acts like they're completely clean is fucking psychotic. They're raw. They're not only liars, but they're fucking... They need to get away from you. They're Fairweather friends. Everybody's got some shit, and if your friend hears the shit, they should understand that it is some shit. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? If you present to someone, hey, these are mistakes, like these are, oh yeah, I've done fucked up shit, and the other person's like, yeah, I've done fucked up shit, and you're both like, this is bad shit. These are things I shouldn't have said or shouldn't have joked about, but I was a fucking young idiot. Like, that should be you and that person going, yeah, dude, well, you're a person. We're both people. We're friends. It shouldn't be the other person going, oh, well, now I really know the things about you. No. If a person's doing that, if they're grinching out as you're revealing fucking personal things to them, get them out of your life. But yeah. That's it for the pod this week. I guess I just wanted to finish my thought. There were some other things I wanted to talk about, but I guess I'll have to save them for next week. Yeah, dude, don't want to fucking run this shit too long. Yeah. Thank you guys so much for listening. If you like the fucking podcast, subscribe to the channel. If you really like the podcast, rate and review it on iTunes. I would greatly appreciate any fucking ratings or reviews you put out. That would be sick as hell, and it helps the podcast be pushed to other fucking people. Yeah, man. Like it. Subscribe to the channel. yeah, I don't know. I love seeing you guys come listen. You're fucking awesome, dude. You guys are fucking dope. As always, I had a great time this week. I love you guys, and I'll see you next week.
Jake, you're an idiot. Jake, you don't make any sense.